As I read the Final Keystone, your book, which is fantastic, you've got to read this thing 50 times and you learn something new every time because it's so deep. It's just so packed with information, historical, philosophical, and everything else. It's really talking about the human condition and the ability for us to learn from mistakes of the past.
So the last thing I ever wanted to do is write a book. And about, 10 years ago, my wife and I went to a numerologist, which was kind of interesting. I enjoyed it, and I guess I have good numbers. And she's saying, "No, you're this guy and that guy, and all this positive things." I go, "Yeah, sure, okay, right." And she says, "You're going to write a book," and I'm thinking, "Write a book? Wow. The last thing I want to do is write a book. I want to be a trial attorney. I want to be a trial attorney." So imagine, so I have this life experience, these experiences, this studying, this training, all this stuff is a conglomerate in the cauldron of my brain. And imagine you play marbles when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You know marbles, like Pearies and Cat Eyes and Steelies, and you have your bag of marbles and you'd be playing marbles.
I forget how to play, but I remember playing.
Oh my God, marbles was a big deal.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose your marbles.
Yeah.
But so I imagine taking a marble and putting it in a tin can. Boink. And the marbles are collecting and the tin can's rattling around and making a lot of noise.
Yeah.
The tin can is my brain, and the marbles are all these connections, these historical connections rattling around my brain going, "Oh my God." And it got louder and louder and louder. I said, oh no, Jesus. So I started writing stuff down. That was the birth of that book.
These tenets, trust, betrayal, accountability, this is in everything. It's in politics, it's in every aspect of our life, relationships. I think that's a really powerful message.
It's trying to explain historically the call for correction. I didn't want to write about individual cases, although individual cases each case is a call for correction. Every revolution, every uprising, every war is a call for correction. And it will be repeated over and over in a different form, over and over again, until the true correction is called for. How we rule ourselves. How do we rule ourselves in a way that promotes freedom and liberty? So that was kind of a basis of viewing different cases.
Yeah.
And it's always there. I start off with Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. And they are actually the foundation of much of Western civilization. We get there through the collective mind of government. How we rule ourselves. How do we rule ourselves in a way that promotes freedom and liberty? The connections, for instance, between Plato and the Wizard of Oz.
Who's the hero of the Wizard of Oz?
Hang on. It is such a magnificent story, and it is a blueprint of Plato's allegory of the caveman. They are so similar. Dorothy is in a tornado or something, gets knocked out and falls asleep and is dreaming a dream. She doesn't know she's dreaming. Does she even know who the dreamer of the dream is when she's in the dream?
Well, no, you don't.
No,
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah.
It's freaking real.
Yeah.
And she wants to find her way home. The number one thing is to find her way home. So she collects these different characters on her pathway to the great wizard who has the answer. So she collects the line, I lack courage, I want to get my courage back. So let's go to the wizard. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the scarecrow, I lack a brain. Let's go do the brain. And then the Tin Man, I don't have a heart. Okay. The wizard has all this stuff. So off they go in the yellow brick road. Doot-de-doot-de-doo. With Toto.
The character I left out.
Yes. So they're in front of the great wizard, and he's loud and fearful. Oh my God, I'm the great wizard. Rah, 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 rah. Till Toto, the hero of the story, pulls back the curtain.
Wow.
Okay? Once you get it, once you pull back the curtain and see, oh, this is a fraud, it has no power over you. You don't have to kill him. You don't have to fight against him. You don't have to do anything. The realization, the unfoldment.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
And so they realized that She always had the way home. The lion always had the courage. The Tin Man always had the heart. The Scarecrow had the brain. It was in them.
Everything was there.
Not once in that story did anybody go back and go, oh, shoot, I really don't have the courage. I better go back to the wizard. Did that ever happen?
No, because once it was exposed as a fraud,
Yeah.
like you say, you can't go back.
So one of the things in this book asks the question, how many wizards do we have in our life?
Too many.
How many?
Yeah.
Why? And this is my interpretation. I don't know if the author intended it. And we're going to get into another subject a little bit, but why was it Toto that pulled back the curtain?
Oh, that's interesting.
No one had the courage.
Yeah.
No one in the entire city of the Great Oz had the courage. Well, let's pull back the curtain on this guy and question him. So all of our great wizards, the military, the medical, the legal, the government, whatever it is, all our great wizards, are we willing to pull back the curtain? If we're not, then we need a Toto. Why Toto? So this raises, we're going to delve into a pretty metaphysical discussion.
I like that.